All right. Okay, so I'm here with Maxine today. Hello, Maxine.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. All right, so I have a bunch of questions for you. We are 8 weeks into the program, and I really want to jump into what's been happening for you since being in the program.
hmm
So let's start off question number one, and I want you to be honest.
hmm
What was going on for you in your life,
hmm
essentially, before coming into the program? Where were things at?
Wow. Okay. I had a whole bunch of different things that were going on that could be construed as negative. So my
Yeah.
brain was all over the place. So the timing of when I started watching like these clips and things come out, I had to start to think. You know what I mean? I was trying to recover from a really bad breakup.
Yeah.
That was number one, and I was thinking about transitioning from my job,
Yeah.
um, thinking about moving into a new home. Like
Yeah.
all of these things were happening. I had um, one of my children who was recently married, they were expecting. And then I
Yeah.
had another son that was in his first year of university. And that was, just so many things going on with him. So I was really in a state of a constant upheaval.
Yeah.
And in the midst of it, I was having confrontations at work. That's why I wanted to leave.
Yeah.
My prayer
Mhm.
when this was introduced, it's funny because I already started praying maybe a few months before I knew that you were going to do this
Yeah.
for I was praying for how people perceive me. No, I'm not even joking. More than a few months, maybe about 6 months, because I kept getting this battle with my supervisor. Me and her, our
Yeah.
personalities constantly clashed. My relationship issues, me and the my former fiance, we always clashed. So
Yeah.
I was going to God, asking him to show me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What is it about me that rubs everybody the wrong way? Help me how to, communicate with people more effectively.
Yeah.
Help me. Oh my gosh, I started seeing a therapist.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was one of the things that I told her. I was like, everybody always reads me wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody always, why do I always come off to people
Yeah.
so negative and so aggressive and all of this, and I really need that to change. And I remember one of the things she said is like, we could want to do things as much as we want to, but what steps are you taking to actively change the way you are, Maxine? If all these people, she's like, I think you're cool, but
Right.
but but that's how you're talking to me. If all of these people are saying the same thing, there might be some work that you have to do. And then poof, 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 all these reels start coming up.
I was spamming everybody online.
Like, oh, maybe I need to be softer.Maybe I need to be more feminine. Maybe I need to be. So these are the things that were happening before. Like, honestly.
And I didn't even know all of this. So this is just
Exactly.
this is nuts. Okay. Okay. So then so I feel like you just kind of even answered my next question. So but what made you then finally say, okay, I can't keep doing life like this? Was there like like a breaking point? Was there like a tip that
Yeah. My engagement. my my engagement. That was a very traumatic year for me last year. This 6 months before 2026 was absolutely horrible.
yeah.
But it's funny because I compare it to about 5 or 6 years ago when my mother passed.
Yeah.
I'm starting to realize, I don't know why God chooses these particular events, but there's things that happen in your life that process you.
Yep.
So I was starting to realize, A, how I reacted,
Yeah.
my recovery,
Yeah.
just my whole outlook on everything was just so dark
Yeah.
and depressing.
Yeah.
How I was dealing with people and responding to people and communicating with people was horrible. So I was like, no, 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 cut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me stop for a second and pause
Yeah.
and then, you know, I was just like, okay, I need to switch. So like I said, I started seeing a therapist.
Yeah.
So that was working on the emotional me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
emotional me. And I was starting to, because my spiritual life also took a hit.
Okay.
Because my faith now started to take a hit.
Yeah.
So I found that that was also very negative, repetitive behavior.
Yeah.
That when things don't seem to go my way, God, why, God,
Yeah.
why? You know what I mean? So even that. So it's just,
Mm.
it was like I was taking all these dots and connecting them.
Yeah.
And everything was connecting back to Maxine.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, fine, you're going to deal with the emotional, you're going to deal with the physical, because that's
Yeah.
also something I started as well.
Yep.
And I'm like, there's another piece that's missing.
Yeah. This is okay. I have to calm down because I know we have a limited time, but I
Yeah,
feel like
yes,
you know when you
yeah,
start talking to somebody like this is
yes,
going to be a
yeah,
podcast like it's
yeah,
like this is going
yes,
to be much
yeah,
longer, but I'm just like
yes,
pull it
yeah.
together, Heather. Okay.
And I do remember, I don't know if you remember, but when we had our initial interview, because you do talk to ladies before
Yeah,
to
I
see if
do.
this was a good
A good
fit.
fit. Yep.
I don't think if you remember that I was just like you started explaining everything, and I was just like, yep, check, check, check. I was like, these are all the things for the season that I'm in that I need to be able to move over to my new season. There needs to be things that change.
Okay. Based on that, then here we are now. We're 2 months into the program.
Mm-hmm.
What have you noticed about yourself that has changed in the last 8 weeks, 2 months?
How I react to people is number one. How I react to people is number one.
Okay.
How I react to situations is number two.
Okay.
And my just general outlook
Yeah.
is number three. And I will tell you why. So there was one of the lessons that you had that I was behind. I was behind because I'm just, you know what I mean? Like everything, I'm still trying to figure out how to get, you know, consistent and do these
Yeah.
things and put in the work on a consistent basis. So
Yeah.
sometimes life happens and, you know, so I remember I was doing my walk
Yeah.
and I usually go in
Yeah.
while I'm walking,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. It gives me prayer points and things
Yeah.
like that that I could use each lesson, right?
Yeah.
So
Good.
I remember going in, I cannot tell you what lesson it was, but all I know is something in the lesson it said something about the way you walk and honoring your movement and
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
honoring your
Yeah.
posture. So I
Yes.
remember I was doing, okay, so keep in mind, I'm walking and then all of a sudden I was just like, I put my
In
shoulders
the
back.
moment, put your shoulders back.
For the rest of the day, for the rest of the week, I walked like this. Even when I got into my car, I would go in and instead of just throwing my stuff in the car, plopping in the car
Yep.
like it literally, like everything I did, I remembered what it said, and I would be like, Maxie, like even when I'm just walking and I'm just clocking, I was just
Yeah.
like at work,
Yeah.
I'm like, and I'm just, Maxine, walk a little bit more, be
Yes.
more softer, be more. So I was just so it's
How did that
it's
feel? How did
basically
that feel?
honestly. So it's funny as I you know, and I know you will identify with this because I'm Canadian. I believe you're Canadian, but
Yes.
we have West Indian parents.
Yes.
So there's
Yes.
things that you hear
Yeah.
throughout your life,
Yeah.
and one of the things that I always remember hearing is, "Oh, that girl, she's too stush, da 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 stush, da 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 da
Right.
da
Right.
stush," and
Stush means she thinks she's too good. Yes.
that has negative connotations to it.
Yeah.
So I think that I've always tried not to be that person. I identified
Okay.
as the tomboy and da
Yep.
da 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 da. So it's like, because you don't want nobody to say, oh, she's stush or
Yeah.
whatever.
She thinks
But
she's
now
better
I'm sitting
than.
there and I'm like, I'm trying to walk properly. I'm trying to watch my posture. I'm trying to walk and glide and just be more, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I can be stush. I can be stush. I don't care. I could be stush.
Yes. Oh
It's
my
a
gosh, that's
confident
it's
feeling.
a
It
confidence
makes me
thing.
feel confident.
Yes. And that is what everyone should be able to
Yes.
experience.
Yeah.
walking with confidence.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I actually, that's like a really good example. I actually really love that. Oh my God, that's so good. Okay. What's something that you would say that you used to do that, or that you used to struggle with, that it actually feels different for you now, like truly different, whether it's overthinking, feeling anxious, trying to control everything? I don't know.
Having to get my point across. So
Okay.
my communication
Mm.
is very slowly changing to the fact that I realize that. So, for example, I've already said that I was having a relationship issue, okay, or a problem with a whatever. So there was a situation that happened recently where Coach Heather, my first thing is I get on the phone and like send one of these like text messages and trying to prove my point and get my way and blah 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 blah. I'm just like, I see my phone and I'm like, next.
You're pausing? Is that what you're, is
Yep.
that what, okay, is
Yep.
that what it is?
I
Okay.
have no response. I have no, and it's funny because the other person will shoot me, like, oh, like, stop playing games, stop doing this, stop doing that, because they're very argumentative and they're waiting for me to respond.
Yes.
I have no response for you.
Ooh.
So, and that is so not me. At least it never used to be. You know what I mean? So, but I'm kind of like,
Ooh, I love what you just said right now. You said, at least that's what how you used to be.
yep.
Did you notice? Did you realize you said
No,
that?
I didn't
You weren't.
realize that I
You weren't
said that.
holding
No,
on to that identity
no,
still.
no.
Ooh.
Like, I love it. Like, and we have to be transparent.
Yeah.
Obviously, my brain is still like, no phone calls, no text messages, and I'm just like,
Yeah. It's a rewiring.
let me interrupt that thought and go do something else.
Yes.
Let me do, and then it's like I don't feel that I have to prove myself anymore. I don't feel like I have to explain my point, and you need to get my point, and da 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 da. It's just, it is what it is, and I just find
it's freeing.
Yes, it is.
It's freeing.
Being in a constant state of always being upset because this is what I said and you're not listening to me and blah 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 blah. It's coming to a place where I'm just like, maybe this is just not working. So I'm just gonna turn the page. And I'm just gonna, and that I never used to be like that. I have to be very honest. Like, it's a freeing feeling, it's a calming feeling. I'm not always on the defensive. You know what I mean? I just don't, I don't want to say that I don't care, because that's not what I don't
what it's about.
Say that I don't care.
Yeah.
I care. But I just don't want to put in the effort that it would take.
Or give it that much energy.
Fight. Yeah.
Yes.
Energy. I just don't want to do that anymore.
That's huge. That is huge, Maxine. And you're saying that you've noticed this and just...
I've noticed that. Like, yeah.
So I want to make sure we're like, you understand what we're saying here. It's only been 8 weeks.
Yes, it has. So keep in mind, for anybody who's listening, I was very skeptical.
Very. Just so we're clear, everybody, very.
And I'm being very honest. I was. Yeah. This was a kind of situation where I was just like, I was so desperate for change that I was just like, let me try it and see what happens. I'm very honest with you.
Yeah, that's how you came in. Like, whatever. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah.
Because I'm really one of those women that are like, that's just how I am. That's just how I am. That's just how I am. That's painted on my forehead. That's just how I am.
That was a slogan. That was the slogan. I've always been this way. That's just how I am. And that's why it's so powerful, because when someone says that's just the way how I've always been, or that's just the way I am, think that someone's been programming their brain to think that way for years and years and years, like whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And to know that you're noticing this change in 8 weeks, if,
Hmm.
and especially if you've been living this for years,
Hmm.
that's the part that really want to make sure you're getting and that other people are getting. Because we talk about this a lot in our group calls. I say to you, ladies, do not minimize your wins.
Yeah,
Big, small, medium, all of like do not
yeah.
minimize it because I don't know if you
That's a
guys
struggle. Yes, that's a struggle for me. That's a
like
struggle.
I see it as a coach, what's happening for you guys. And Coach Gina sees it. I'm like, are you guys seeing this too? And I don't know if you guys are just kind of like you're hearing it, you're noticing it, or you're waiting for like the big mountain win before you acknowledge all the other ones. And this is huge.
Yeah. Hmm.
This is a huge win. So I actually want to like clap you on that one because that is huge. And I want
Hmm.
to ask you this. So if because we get DMs and I think it's people probably women that are just kind of like you, but you actually like pulled the trigger. Women that are sitting on the fence, they're still in survival mode. They want to control everything. They're tired of leading, but they've always been the independent one. They've only relied on themselves. They don't know how to be vulnerable. What would you say to that woman that's still in that space where it's like, I don't know, this seems to like whatever, like I don't know if this is gonna work. What would you say to that woman that's watching?
So it's funny because just today, I'm on TikTok a lot. I have a girlfriend that's on TikTok, and she's in
Yeah.
the same position that I am. Like, keep in mind that I'm a single parent, and
Yeah.
I've been a single parent for a very long time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I am used to doing everything on my own.
Yeah.
She's in the same situation, works two jobs, you know what
Yeah.
I mean, has things to do. And she sent me this TikTok where it was a gentleman sitting there explaining away
Mm-hmm.
um, and giving understanding to that woman.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally said, you don't have time to be soft. You do everything, and you pay your own bills, and you work very hard, and you're in survival mode. Like, these are things that the man was saying. I almost sent you the TikTok.
You should have.
So I almost sent you, and I'm gonna find it because she sent it to me,
Yeah.
and then I'm reading her comment. She's like, "Oh yes, Lord, yes." Like, she was. So I'm watching it, and I'm like, "But no, no, no." I'm like, "Yes, what he's saying is very true,
True.
but I don't want that."
Nope.
And I'm thinking, I didn't know what to do because I want to tell her, "You don't want that.
You don't.
Don't be in agreement with that because we don't want that." Yes, we do everything by ourselves. Some of us do. Some of us
Yep.
are married, some of us are not. And
Yep.
some of us are married and still have to do everything by ourselves. Like, this is just the way that it is. But there is a way to soften up these edges
Yep.
and still do what we need to do without operating in survival mode.
Yep.
This is what I want to learn how to do, and this is what I began to learn how to do. I don't need some man sitting in a chair
Mm-hmm.
trying to tell the world to excuse me for being rough.
Because that is not what you want.
That's not
It,
what I want.
that's what ended up happening as a result of like life and circumstances, but that's not what
That's
you
not
want.
what I want. So that is what I would tell. That's what I want to tell her. Like, we don't have to really stand in agreement with this. We
No.
could be different. You
Yes.
know what I
Oh, I
mean?
love
So,
that.
yeah. Just
Oh,
this morning, I'm going to find it and I'm going to send it to you because
please.
we need to dispel these myths. Like,
Yeah,
it's not a myth, it's a fact,
it
but it's
is.
just we don't have to be like that.
You don't. And what you just said, that's exact. This is what other women actually do need to hear. This may have been your true reality. It may be your present reality, but you don't have to actually stay in it. There's a way out of it.
Yeah.
There truly is a way out of it. Okay, so final thing. I know I think you touched on it a second ago, but maybe if we can kind of just bring it home a bit more. Like we are only 8 weeks in. What is something more that you're looking forward to seeing transform for yourself in the coming weeks?
Okay, so I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but one of my main goals
Yeah.
in how I want to transition me
Yeah.
is how I deal with people, how my communication,
Yeah.
how I are with people in my relationships.
Mm,
Okay, and
yeah.
most importantly, how I view myself,
Ooh.
because I
Okay.
believe that the prayer points in this program are so because I can't explain anything else. So I need, like,
I,
I need to put, like, it has to make sense to me. And I am still very confused. You keep saying it's only been 8 weeks, but I'm thinking, yeah, like it's only been 8 weeks. But taking this program seriously enough to actually not only do the suggestions and this is your task this week,
yeah,
but to really seriously pray the prayer points.
yeah,
So if you're not spiritual,
yeah.
it might be a good idea to become spiritual. And if you are, you know what I mean, implementing the
Yeah,
prayer points into
yeah.
your daily prayers,
It makes a difference.
it makes a big difference. You know what I mean? So these are the things for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at the end of this, I want it to be such a visible transformation, how I deal with people, how I talk to people, how I come across to people, how I present myself. And all of that has to do with how I view myself.
Ooh.
And when I change how I view myself, I'm going to present myself differently to people.
Yeah. Maxine, you just summarized it. You just summarized it. And I love it. I'm excited for you. I am looking forward to the rest of your journey. I mean, all of you ladies, like it's so interesting how you guys are all so different, but you're all very similar. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, again, it's like being in awe as a coach here, like, having to go on my own journey and then like, oh, is this just for me? Nope. God's like, nope, it's for other people too. And then now seeing how it's impacting you women, it's absolutely amazing. And I really am looking forward to seeing what lies ahead for you, your further transformation. I want to thank you for taking the time out today to just share a little bit of what you've experienced in such a short
Mm-hmm.
period of time. And yeah, I'm looking forward to your continued growth.
Thank
So thank
you.
you so much again, Maxine.